Good afternoon, all. I will be doing a Salesforce demo for how to create a new project application within Salesforce. So if you go to your Salesforce homepage, you can click the Projects tab, and then this is what the Projects tab looks like. It will show any of your current existing project applications that are in session, but we're going to create a new project, so we'll click this New Project button. It's going to show you this page of project activities. Any of them that you've previously submitted will show up here. As this is the first step in the process, we haven't submitted any previously, so it's going to say no items to display. So we'll just click next to get started. I would recommend, we do have a list and descriptions of project categories here linked in the form. I would suggest reviewing this before completing the form. It's going to go over operational service projects versus capital campaign projects and all of its subcategories for each category. So I'd read this, get a little bit familiarized, so it'll make filling out the application much more easier. Yeah, that first question is going to be the project category. You could select between capital campaign or operational services. One note here is that if this is your prime project, it cannot be a capital campaign. And then also, if this is your prime project, it can total up to $750,000 in contributions. Any project thereafter will have a total up to $750,000 for any project underneath it. So that first prime project can be $750,000 standalone by itself, but every project thereafter will total $750,000 altogether. So just some notes there. Depending which one you click, will populate some different questions for you. So this is what comes up when you click operational services. These little boxes signify that you can click multiple options. So if your category is shelter, supportive housing, and homeless prevention, you can click all three. And depending which one you click, you might get different questions that pop up, and the system will automatically do that for you. The next question is going to be project counties, and let's say it's Alamosa. And if you needed to collect multiple counties, if you press Control or the Command button on Mac, it can select. You can select multiple ones and deselect multiple ones as well. So just depending on how many counties you're serving, you can click as many as you need as well. And then everything else is pretty standard. You're going to enter your project name. If you're in HMIS, you can put the project name of it in HMIS. If you're not in HMIS, it's going to ask you how is this data collected and stored. This might be common for folks who are using Cafe. You can select that here. Your budget, you want to put a numerical value in here. So you need to put a number without the $sign, and then it'll auto-populate that dollar. Your brief explanation, it does have to be 200 words or less, so just a note there. And then if you have different names for your subcategories, you could put that here. This is a question that auto-populated because we selected shelter and supportive housing activities, so you can answer these here. Your project objective, you want to put that there. The percentage of participants experiencing homelessness, you can put the percentage here and it will work out perfectly. And if you're doing homeless prevention, then how do you determine imminent risk? You want to list any goals here, and then your minimum donation amount. Again, this is similar to your project budget. You want to enter a numerical value without any $signs for it to populate correctly. I will note that the minimum donation, if you click on this little eye here, if you hover over it, it'll tell you that the minimum donation is $100. But if your organization wants to set a higher minimum donation, that is totally up to the organization's discretion. But yeah, you have to put a number sign that is that does not include a $sign, and the $sign will auto-populate. Same for the cash contribution. And then the in-kind contribution, these are numerical values and don't include the $sign, and they will auto-populate correctly. If you do try to put the $sign, it's not going to work correctly, so it won't let you move on. But once you've finished inputting all the information, just double check all of it, make sure it looks good. You could scroll down, click this blue next button, and then your first activity has already been submitted, and it's going to populate here in the screen. If you need to add another one, you can click next, and then it'll take you through the same screen where you enter all the information all over again. If you're done adding project activities, you'll click this button up here, click next, and then it's successfully been submitted, and you can go back to your project and you can see the project that we just submitted, and it'll show you submitted in the eligibility status. It could take us up to 30 days for the HCTC staff to review your application, but you will get an email to the email address that you provided in your account of confirmation that the project has been submitted. But yeah, we'll reach out to you via email. If it has been approved or declined, the eligibility status will get changed, but we'll follow up with you on more details on how that looks like and why that might have been canceled or approved. And then if you exit out of the page without completing it, it will save here as a draft.